Rhykker can't just say anything. He got paid to participate in this interview and ask the questions that was collected for him.
Overlay map versus minimap. Minimap is a little map in the top right corner. Overlay is what we had in the past in D2, where you have this semi-transparency of the large-scale map over your actual gameplay. D4 does not have an overlay map. A lot of people are asking for it. What's the reason for no overlay?
Yeah. Give us the overlay. Every game has it.
So when you're...
I even noticed that when you open up the map, you have even slight delay, and it takes additional resources. Just have two options to pick. If you can't deliver, just say that you can't deliver right now, but you will look into it and you will deliver later on. But as from the feedback that I received, is they refused. Not that they said that they wouldn't, they just straight up refused. So I'm very curious what they're about to say about this.
Playing through an action RPG and you're playing through that core loop, you're basically switching between two modes of behavior, right? You're killing monsters or you're navigating. And you're switching back and forth between those really quickly. And so it can be helpful to have that be as fast as possible so that you can I just killed those monsters, okay, where am I going to go? Is there an objective to the left or right? Right? And so the overlay map is very effective at doing that. In fact, it's so effective that it's up all, there's no reason to ever close it. And so there are a lot of solutions that we've seen different games do in terms of like trying to mitigate sort of its effects on combat in terms of fading areas around the player or
why they're not giving a player choice. That's, I can tell you straight away. They want to lock you in the game as much as you want. We know Diablo 4 is an awesome game and it will feature an amazing experience. I know myself that for a fact. Just the thing that they're not giving us a choice of just if you're running the same dungeon like 5 or 6 100 times over and over again, and only thing that's changing is just where your part of quest gonna end up. The thing is that you're still gonna be opening up the map, and after you've seen all of the animations, all of the game styles and everything in the game, you want to know exactly where to run. Just, I believe that Blizzard is seeing like a new player experience who will be playing the game for the first time, the very first 20 hours, but the fact that majority of player base will be enjoying the game hundreds or thousands of hours after the game will be released, this issue needs to be addressed, it needs to be fixed. Maybe this is some sort of a thing that can be achieved or implemented into the game later on, but they're mistreating this incorrectly. They're confusing game beauty and atmosphere with the end result and how player experience should be driven. And it should be driven by player being immersed into the game, by having full experience and their expectations met. And if you want to go there, kill monsters, do a quick speed run, you want to know where to navigate exactly, not be like in Skyrim games or in any other games where you just don't have a map, or a map is just straight up limiting your actions. It's just, why?
things like that. What we're trying
and the fact that there will not be any sort of a back discussion about this unless there's going to be some sort of petition is just crazy. I believe that there's going to be no change because it will sound like a firm explanation of why it will not happen, but I believe they're absolutely utterly wrong, and it should be implemented into the game.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to keep the combat and navigation spaces as clean as possible by separating them a little bit more. And so that's why you see the mini map, you see the pin system on the map, you see in certain cases.
I believe if he would be the one who would be playing Diablo 4 for a couple of years and would be familiar with the same bosses, same layout, wouldn't you think that he would be keen to have some sort of navigation instead of just standing in one place, pressing M button, and then looking at the map? No, he wants to see it right away.
Edge of screen indicators on the minimap.
I predict that this is going to be fixed. It doesn't seem like an enhancement, it seems like a temporary delusion of the team that they're inventing something. No, the overlay minimap was created for the very same reason. Not for the fact that players stop immersing into the game. It was created for the fact so that player would feel control of the gameplay and would understand where he needs to go. Because it's not that player would be constantly on the minimap and just looking at it because the game is difficult. It's the fact that you want to have fun in a game by allowing you to express yourself, not by limiting you in the game.
We want to add more of those kinds of things, but ultimately, our goal is to make sure that players, when they're going back and forth between combat mode and navigation mode, that they have the tools that they need to do it efficiently, and they don't feel like it's a huge hassle. So we're going to be continuing to look at this feedback.
As long as everyone says that we want you to address it, they will address it, but it may be that it's even on their bucket list to make it as a to-do item, but it requires rework, it requires testing, and of course, if you would be sitting in their shoes, you don't really want to do development once again, as the game has already been completed, and say that, hey guys, let's just prolong launch because you want to have a minimap. No. That's crazy. They have their point, we have ours. Rhykker he can't just say anything. He got paid to participate in this interview and ask the questions that was collected for him, and he had the ability to pick from a list. Hey Rhykker, what kind of questions you wish that we would answer? He picked like 10 questions or so, and they're just answering. They have answers to all of the questions, but Rhykker, as the representative of the community, he's awesome, by the way. He asked the questions. Blizzard dev team give the response, and that's it. There's no back and forth. There's no discussion. There's no dialogue. They just ask a question. They have a voiced response. That's it. I don't know. It really doesn't scratch the itch that I'm looking for.